All right, so boom, right? I'm at the studio with my homeboys. Shout out to Bank Rose.
God damn it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give y'all a quick story time on. Tell me if I'm wrong for cutting this nigga off about him having a fucking baby. Well, it's not necessarily like, okay, I cut him off because he had a baby. He lied about the baby, technically. I feel like every female got a guy that, well, they should. I don't know. Maybe they should. Women be having that one guy that they like, you know what I'm saying? They done been through hell and high water with, or, you know, like, you waiting on this nigga to get right, or you get right, or y'all always make y'all way back to each other and shit like that type shit, you feel me? But, boom, that's what the situation was, you feel me? So, like, this was a nigga that, this not just any nigga. This not just any nigga. This was the first nigga I ever loved and kept loving. We always had an understanding that if I ever had a kid, we're done. If he ever had a kid, we're done. And in the midst of that, we done dated different people, you know what I'm saying? But we always made our way back to each other type shit, you feel me? But the rule was the rule. I'm minding my motherfucking business and something comes across my desk, unprovoked. I didn't go looking. I didn't even know. I watched this lady, I don't want to say her name. Yes, I want to gatekeep her. I don't care. She do tarot read, but she fired though. She just been too on point with too much shit. I chill out on watching her though because you just got to be careful doing that anyways. At this particular time, this was like in my era where I was like really watching her. I'm watching, you know, Taurus. She say, somebody is hiding a pregnancy from you. So when I'm listening to it, you know, I'm listening to what resonate and what don't. I remember like just feeling like if that was pertaining to me, like who would be hiding a pregnancy from me? Why would any of my homegirls hide a pregnancy? Is any of my homegirls pregnant? I'm not thinking about no nigga though. Weeks go by, life is still life and whatever. I just kind of like forgot about it after that whole day. So it was just like whatever. A couple weeks go by and I get a phone call.
Bitch, I gotta tell you something.
And this particular person wasn't being messy at all. They just knew the dynamic between me and this nigga.
Bitch, out of respect, if the shoe's on the other foot, I will hope you would tell me.
And she was just like,
I can't do you like that, like, I gotta tell you. And I'm not the only one that know, but bitch, I cannot tell you.
fair is fair. She tells me,
You got a baby.
I said, what? She said,
Well, yeah, got a baby.
where does baby come from? She giving me the tea or whatever. And as this is happening, it's calling my motherfucking phone. Literally, hadn't talked to him for 2 weeks because I was mad about some shit. So I wasn't expecting him to call me. But mysteriously, while this is being told to me, this nigga is calling my phone. Oh, bitch, this nigga calling. And she like,
Bitch, you didn't get it from me.
of course. So I click over, talk to him. I get on the phone with him, and I immediately start off with, what up? He like,
What's up?
I'm like, shit, instantly.
You mad at me? Or are you so dry?
I'm gonna ask you a question, and I want you to be all the way honest with me. No, I genuinely want you to understand that this is serious, and I'm only giving you one time to give me an answer.
What's up?
You got a baby? You got a fucking kid?
No.
Bitch. Instantly, I'm already knowing you lying. I kind of just reiterated what I had said the first time. Let me just say it one more time for you. So I asked him again. I say, listen, I'm going to ask you one more time. Do not lie to me. And I also want to make this very clear. You do know what's been our agreement this whole time.
I know.
Right. So if you got a kid, you already know what's coming next.
You threatening me?
If you want to look at it as if I'm threatening you, it is what it is. I said, but if the shoe's on the other foot, you wouldn't even be this cool. So then he tell me,
No, I ain't got no kid.
show?
Yeah, I'm sure.
All right.
What nah?
I don't know. I need to think.
All right.
For sure. Get off the phone. Because at this point, it's like our history. I don't talk to him. I've never talked to him super crazy or, you know, all that like arguing through the phone or like even if face to face, like, you know, so it was just like, I don't want to disrespect you. I don't want to say nothing crazy. I don't even want to give you that. So I'm going to just get off the phone and I'm going to just think. Because I really want to tell you, bitch, you lying and I'm going to fuck you up. But I ain't even going to say all that because I don't say that to you. So I'm going to keep it the way we've been keeping it. Let me get off the phone and be a girl. I call my resources back. So at this point, me and Shorty on the phone and we are, you know, giving each other information. Do you know how old this baby is? Yeah, the baby was born. I said, oh. I start calculating. And it made sense. It made so much fucking sense. Yeah, this nigga lying. Next day he call, I'm dry as hell. Fast forward, right? For over a whole year, the conversation will like randomly come up. Where like, you know, you want to talk to me and we having a normal conversation and bitch, it was that deep to me.
Oh yeah, you good? You need anything?
You got a baby? I ain't gonna lie. I was like pulling this card random as fuck for a whole year. You got a baby? What about that baby? And this nigga constantly keeps saying,
I ain't got no kid. I ain't got no kid. I ain't got no kid. No.
why are you lying to me? Like, I had already accepted a lot of shit for what it is, right? Like, this was a man that I literally seen myself marrying and having all his motherfucking babies. Like, that was the only man that can say, like, I've never just, like, straight, just, like, bitch, I loved the fuck out of him. Like, thought he was perfect, bitch. Thought nobody was fucking with this nigga. Felt like everybody else was ugly except him. I loved him deeply. I can't keep going off of potential or like our history. Like I gotta look at what it really is, you know. Like I'm not looking at this from my teenage mind no more, or the younger me mind. Like I gotta look at it now. Like what is this now? What does this look like now? You know, like is what we doing? So because of that, I had a moment where I really broke the fuck down because I just accepted like this shit is a dub. Like, this is really a fucking dub. And it really did break my heart because it was like, you couldn't have ever paid me to think this would be us. So, after I done cried and went through the motions about that or whatever, got back up, dust my shoulders off, all right, it is what it is. We still kept in contact or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But it just was like, I just started like being different and like pulling back at this point because it was just like, it's too many, I don't even want to say red flags. It was just too many signs to just make it clear. Like, you can hold on to this nigga, but keep in mind if you do, your life might look like this. I knew that I loved him so much that I would have chose being delusional for him. And that's what scared me. And I had to like wake the fuck up. And that's just one issue. It was multiple other things that was happening and transpiring that just like started like making me look at shit different. I feel like after you get to a certain point in life, you just start, like, you can't unsee certain shit. And by this point, like, I was already over just not moving correctly. Because sometimes moving with my heart put me in situations that my brain wouldn't put me in. I just had to, like, choose my brain this time. And with this particular person, this was the first time I was choosing my brain over him. At this point, like, we really, like, family still, you know, like we family, even though, you know, this been my nigga. This been my nigga for a very long time. But at this point, it's like we family. I ended up seeing his OG. And when I seen his OG, it was a whole bunch of women around. And she instantly like cut into me and everybody else in there. She walk up on me, of course. I love her. But she walk up on me, she give me some love, and she say, I don't give a fuck. This my daughter. This my daughter-in-law. Like, this my daughter. You know, like, she always talked like that. But this time it was different. And she was just like, I don't give a fuck about no other bitch. Like, this my daughter. You know, I just laughed it off, you know, and I was just like, you know, I love you. Like, you know. But in hindsight, looking back, fuck, how did I miss that? Fast forward. I just started changing. I knew he was lying. I'm just waiting on you to tell me the truth. We ended up having some words. We got into it through text. Like, I was just telling him, like, you got all this energy to, like, argue with me instead of talking about the shit that actually matter, the shit that's actually important. You know, like, why you got so much to say arguing, but you don't have much to say about the shit we need to be talking about. I don't like that.
You think because you got sage and a candle and some crystals, like you know energy and...
I couldn't argue with that because it was just like, it has nothing to do with no sage, no fucking crystals, no goddamn candles. It ain't got nothing to do with that. It got everything to do with discernment. Everything. And praying. Heavy on the praying. Praying first, discernment second. It's not me basing this off of nothing else besides what I feel and what I'm asking God to show me. And I constantly keep getting shown this, but I'm trying to give you an opportunity to, like, you know, like, it's a way you could clean it up. You feel me? Like, don't let me lose respect for you. But niggas weren't looking at it that way. So, whatever. I ended up, like, cutting into him, and I was just telling him, fuck him. And he told me to check myself. And I said, fuck you, check that baby. Why did I say check that baby? because after so many months, it started becoming.
We gotta take a test.
So it went from you don't have a kid to nah, you have to take a DNA test. And you telling me to check myself? Check that fucking baby. I blocked him after that because I just felt like it's nothing else I can say. Whatever. By this point, we're no longer even sexually active or nothing like that. I was already, been back with the last relationship I was in, so it really wasn't a thing, you feel me, like, at this point. But by this conversation, I am completely single because he's blocked. He messaged me on social media.
Well, I ain't heard from you.
And I'm just like, for what?
To me, for what?
Don't think because I'm single now, that mean I'm finna run back to your ass. Like, mind y'all, we hadn't been talking, hadn't seen him, and hadn't had sex. So I come back to Detroit because, as y'all know, I had moved from Detroit for the first time as a grown woman. I can't remember, this was like on like day 5 or 6, something like that, right? Earlier that day, I had just prayed, and I was just trying to just see, like, where I stood with a couple people. It was a couple people. Like, when I left, I was on bad terms with a couple people, and I just felt like I just need to know where we stand all the way. Like, it's been a little bit of time. Like, let me just see. I don't know. I just felt like that. I just felt like I wanted to just know, like, where do I stand with certain people. It was a lot of unanswered questions with me and a few people, and for some reason, this particular day, I just felt like I really just needed that. Probably didn't. Probably should have just said fuck that shit, but I felt like I needed it. He was one of them. We ended up talking. We seen each other, and it was just cool, like one of the homies type shit. It wasn't on no, oh, we laid up, or we kissing on each other, or we hold hands and all that shit. Like, no, like, we just smoked, and we was just literally sitting there. I was very intentional about what was happening. So at some point, I'm just like, okay, now it's time to talk about the real shit. We just sitting here smoking, not talking about shit. Let's just get to it so I can go on about my business.
You left Detroit, I didn't even know, like, how you just gonna leave and not even say nothing to me?
And I just had a time just like, say something to you for what? Like, we're not together. I don't think we'll ever be together, so me leaving Detroit, I didn't have to check in with nobody. Where do we stand? I want you to know where you stand with me, and I need to know where I stand with you. Even if it's no future with us moving forward, like, I still don't want to lose respect for you. You feel me? Like, I'm just one of them type of people that I just feel like, even if a relationship go bad, like, we don't have to be enemies. We don't have to be beefing. I don't have to, like, think the worst of you. You don't have to think the worst of me. You feel me? Like, so, like, let's not do each other like that. Once I got done explaining that, I was just like, do you have a baby? Even if he said no, I was already done with that. That's just the reality of it. But, however, because I knew he was lying, it was just like, come on, man. Like, just don't let me look at you different. You feel me? Like, let's depart on a very grown and mature slate. Like, it don't gotta be that. You feel me? So I don't know. I just was having one of those moments, and I felt like that about a few people. And he say,
I do.
When I say, he said this shit about 10 to 15 fucking times, that every time he said
I do.
I don't know what it did. I don't know what it did. It was doing something. It was doing something. When that happened, I just went mute, silent, so silent. Because at this point, like, he explained it to me how they just took a test and he just not finding out, and and da-da-da-da and all this other shit. And I just had absolutely no words. He asked me a question, and I swear to God on my soul, I don't know what he asked me because I could not hear. Like, I literally could not fucking hear. I knew he was talking, but at some point I could not hear shit he was saying because I was literally sitting there in my head. Damn, like, this shit real. I don't know. It was just like me in my head, and I was just thinking, like, I already knew. I was really thinking. So he say,
You ignoring me?
no.
Well, why you ain't saying nothing?
I said, because I don't have nothing to say.
Why you don't got nothing to say?
Because I'd rather think before I speak.
I respect that.
Still get to talking again. I heard absolutely nothing. I guess he asked me another question, and I did not hear that. I just didn't. I was literally sitting there just thinking.
So you're not gonna answer me?
I told you. I said, I don't want to speak before I think about what the fuck I'm saying. But okay, since you want me to respond so bad, I don't know what you expect. I've been knew this. This is just your first time telling me out of your mouth, but I've been on this. I can't get mad. I can't cry. I can't lash out on you. I said, bro, I done already went through the motions when I first found out because I knew that it was true. Now he's like adding in shit that I feel like you didn't even have to say all of that, you know, just like talking about how he's getting older and, you know, how he do want kids and how we don't have a kid. And I don't want to hear none of that shit. I don't care. I really don't care. But instead of saying that, I had time to sit and think before I spoke. And I just didn't say anything. But the whole time I was in my head like, boy, shut the fuck up. This was a man that has never laid a finger on me, never even made it as if he would hit me or harm me, you know, like never did nothing like that. But my nervous system is fucked up. So instantly I'm in my head like, I know I will never talk to you again. I don't want to trigger you, or I don't want us to like get into it. I don't want this to like go left, you know. So I just played it cool. I played it so cool just because I just didn't know what the fuck to expect. I didn't know what to expect. Like I didn't know if I told him, you know, this is the last time you will see me. Like, I didn't know what would happen. I just kind of just played it off like, it's okay. It's all good. He just like, yeah, I'm like, I get it. I swear I get it. Like, it's all good. Congratulations to you and your baby. When we was departing, you know, he was just like, I'm gonna see you tomorrow. And I was like, I was just thankful that before this baby incident, I had already made up my mind way before that. And I felt like I was so glad that I chose to move the way that I did, because realistically, had I not moved the way that I had, I could see like that would have really broke me by now, you know. Or I can't imagine had I chose to go down a road with him and then find that out. And it was just like, I'm just glad that everything played out the way it did, you know? You know, do it hurt a little bit, you know, just because it's like, this was my first love, and the grown me was just like, bitch, come on now. I was already in love with the person that I was with, even though by this point, I'm single, I'm not with nobody. So I was already going through a fucking breakup, and I had already accepted that with dogs. So it was just kind of like, all right, bet. God clearing the slate, you feel me? So I couldn't be mad at nobody or mad about nothing. It was just like, it just is what it is, you know? But I just needed clarity, right? Just clarity, because I knew I was not tripping. So the next day come, and he shoots me a text.
Where you at?
I say where I'm at.
What you doing?
Chilling.
Am I seeing you today?
Why would you? Instantly, he texting me, going the fuck off, real bad. To the point where I'm just like, how you mad because I ain't playing with you? You know, like, I'm like, I ain't never did that to you. You feel me? Like, I just feel like if I know we're never going to be together, I'm not about to continue to fuck you. I'm not about to be talking to you as if. I'm not gonna be in your face. I'm not gonna do none of that. All that, oh, well, we could still be friends and all that. I'm not about to even play like that. You feel me? Like, I know that this shit is dead. I ain't played with you this far. I'm not gonna choose to play with you now. I know for a fact you would never be my nigga again. Even having a motherfucking kid, and you're just not telling me this. We so finished. We so through. He gets to telling me, like, bringing up my old nigga. Like,
Yeah, you would have had a baby by now. Shit just ain't work out with you one dog.
it didn't do nothing but like kind of aggravate me a little bit, that I had to regroup, because it was just like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you felt like, oh, well, if you and dog had worked out, you would have had a kid. Is that what happened? No. Did that happen? No. Did I have a baby with anybody? No. Stop playing with me. If I had a baby and you found out I had a baby, you would have got on my baby daddy's ass. Like, I probably would be a fucking single parent. You get what I'm saying? Like, and that's just the realest I can, like, sum this shit up. And that's just what it is, you know? So it's just like, we can't even play like that. You feel me? Like, I gotta hold you to what it is, because you would do the same thing to me. You feel me? Like, you literally would do the same thing to me. And outside of the fucking kid, outside of that, I had already knew this shit is a dub before the fucking kid situation. I can't play with my life like that with you. Like, I love you so much that I know I would, but I ain't got it in me to do it this time. He started like telling me like that's why he got a real bitch that love him and care about him. I don't care about him. I don't fuck with him. I moved out the state and they tell him and all this other shit. And it didn't do nothing but furthermore just make me proud of my decision. I'm confused. If you got a bitch, why are you mad that I don't want you no more? If you got a bitch, why are you mad that I'm not finna come see you? If you got a bitch, why are you mad at me for anything? I haven't said nothing to you. I didn't do nothing to you. Like, we left on good terms. Like, I don't get it. I just simply responded with, you sick, you had a baby on me. And I blocked him. If you end up seeing this, I'm gonna tell you this right now. The problem was never about you having a fucking kid. It wasn't. However, let's just say I thought about us working out and getting back together and trying to make this shit work and, you know, let's just say I was gonna go down that road, right? I can't ever play with a man and a fucking baby, right? Because I feel like as a man, the way you move with your kids tell me a lot. And granted, you saying that you didn't know and y'all needed to take a DNA test, but I felt like the urgency behind that was you playing. You know, like if you think that it's a possibility that you could have a kid, or this girl think that you could be her baby daddy, you need to be getting on it, because that means that baby is a part of you. It's a possibility that this baby is a part of you. You need to move like you need to be finding out, or like you care enough to want to find out. Why you let this shit go on this long before even getting a test? Like, I don't give a fuck what it is, what's going on, what she doing, what she not doing. I don't give a fuck about none of that. You could have got that shit done a long time ago. That was strike number one. Strike number two, I feel like as a fucking man, which I had told him this, you don't never lie about your motherfucking kid to no bitch. I said, not even me. I said, fuck us having this agreement and all this shit and all this whole time and all throughout the years and all. Fuck all that. Once you knew that it was a possibility, nigga, you should have been telling me and you should have been getting on it. Simple as that. All that knowing and you playing, I'm not going for that. I'm not going for that. And I feel like if you was willing to tell me you don't have a fucking kid, when did you find out? But I didn't care enough to ask that question, like, well, when did you find out? Because I wasn't trying to do the math in my head or nothing like that. I don't give a fuck. It was just more so like the way you handled this situation, I don't respect that as a man. I don't respect that, because regardless to what, here it is, you done found out this baby belonged to you. But this is the story that I got on how you played it with your child. Fuck me. And then on top of that too, like, I just feel like even to like tell me, oh, that's why I got a new bitch and da-da-da-da, all this other shit, like, you saying all of this out of spite, but at the same time too, like, let's just say you really do got a new girlfriend, you know what I'm saying? Like, congratulations to the both of y'all. You know, like, I didn't play with you. I didn't make you think I want to be with you. I didn't, like, I wasn't still fucking you on the side and doing, like, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally nothing. Like, I just treated you like you was just my people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always will have love for you. Like, I wish you the best. I really hope you get your shit together. I really hope life just flip around for you, you know, because you really a good nigga for real, you know, like, you got some fucked up ways and some fucked up shit, and life didn't life with you, you know what I'm saying? But however, like, I think that you is the person that deserve to have a good life, you know, but it is what it is, you feel me? Like, at this point, by this point, I was already in love with a whole woman, you know. I can't even, like, I would never be able to downplay it. And that was another thing, because a couple years back, we did try to make shit work, or did just see if we could get back together. Like, he ended up going through my phone, and when he went through my phone, he seen some messages between me and Shorty, you feel me? And he was just like, you love her? And I had to tell him, yeah. And that was the first time I ever told him throughout years. That was the first time I ever told him that I did love somebody, you know, because it was always him. But at this point, it was just like, I can't downplay how I feel about her to make you feel comfortable, you know, like, I can't, you feel me? Like, you love other people too. You feel me? And even if you didn't love other people, like, I can't lie about how I feel about her. Yeah, I love her. Like, by that point, we had already deaded it. I had walked away. I was done. I was over it, you know? And by now, like, by this point, it was just like, I felt like I was willing to accept, which I was and I did. But at that point, I felt like I was willing to accept however the cards played out, you know, just with me and anybody. You know, like, I am one of those type of people that, you know, when I love you, you know, and I try to, like, if we do depart, like, let's depart on good terms, or, like, you know, like, or at least have some type of understanding, like, you know, like, something where it's just, you will forever have a place in my fucking timeline of life. So because of that, I don't want it to be a, I don't respect you, you hate me, I hate you, we see each other out and we being mean to each other, or, you know, like, I don't want to do that. I don't like that. I'm not saying that, oh, I'm one of those ex-girlfriends, like, oh yeah, this was my ex and hugs and all that. Like, no, but however, like, I'm the type of person that I would prefer that if I walk in a room and you in it, like, it ain't no bad blood. Like, that's weird. Like, especially if we was fucking on each other, loving each other, being with each other, like, why do it gotta be like that? I guess, like, for my own conscience, was just trying to, like, make things be what I felt like it should be. And based off of that and that, which that was a whole different situation, but based off of those two, it was just like, you know what, God, you right. What's done is done. Stop. You don't need no closure. You don't need no conversation. You don't need to fix nothing. If they feel like you the enemy, bro, let them feel like that, you know. And it is what it is. Like, let that shit go, bro. You feel me? And because of how shit played out, is the reason why I was just like, you know what? Okay. So now I'm at this point in my life where I'm in a whole new chapter, you know? Like, I no longer have no exes that I'm, like, tied to, or I feel like, oh my God, like, no, we might make it work one day, or we might get back together and shit like that. I'm literally starting from scratch. Just the type of person that I am, I just felt like, you know, like, if ever anything, you know, like, we're not done living life. So if ever anything, like, I need to know where I stand with you. So, like, I know how to move with you, like, if anything. And I felt like God was making sure it's done, move on, you know, and that's just what it is. So I guess the question is, am I wrong? To sum all of this up, moving forward, for the next guy that I ever date, if you got a kid, got a baby on the way, don't lie about that shit, bro. Don't lie about that shit. Don't lie about that shit. Because the thing is when I still got respect for you, I might be in on something that I say I ain't going for. Depending on how you handle it, depending on how you move with me, I might be like, you know what? I respect the way you did it. I can't even be mad. But if I don't respect the way that you did it, and I got a reason to not be okay with whatever situation, like, you can't be mad if I say fuck you forever. And that's just what it is. So